Hello to my Western audience. Now this is first English video, this is serious video. There will be a second video, humoristic video. So if you want humoristic video, skip this video. There will be humoristic video with the next title. Now. If you still stayed for serious video, then okay. Ex-President of Kyrgyzstan Atambayev was arrested. So you said, what about that? Some politician got arrested. Wait. This is the reason why the ex-Soviet Union can't have democracy. Now you say, what kind of freaking reason? So, it shows the power of justice. Power of justice, my ass. It only shows that once you leave office, you can be arrested. Or that the law is equal to... No, guys, democracy doesn't work this way. If you're building a fresh democracy, it's unstable and you can very easily do a power grab, which oftentimes happens. You would prefer to stay in your place, right, instead of letting the opposition win. Right, because you don't want to be arrested. I guess no sane human being wants to be... Well, I'll be arrested for my ideals. I will be remembered as the president who stepped down and was arrested. Right? I will be remembered in the history books, something like that. The damn freaking corrupt president that was arrested. Wow. Great history, right? Or you can go out as a... Or you can gain wealth, gain power, and die in office. Think great things, right? Now, let's go in the hypothetical realm, so-called. Like when Trump called, if I was president, I would lock you up, right? To Hillary Clinton. Now, does Hillary Clinton have to be locked up? Yes, of course she needs to be locked up. She's a freaking corrupt politician. But by the law, she's supposed to be locked up. But can you imagine what would happen if President Trump, on his first 100 or his first day in office, said, start investigating freaking Hillary Clinton, I want you to lock her up. You would have a civil war the next day. A civil war would erupt. And justly so. You can't just lock up your political opponents. That's the thing in democracy. You can't lock up your political opponents. Democracy doesn't work that way. Now you say, but corruption, you're right. Part of the game, of course, there is a certain level of corruption. That once that level of corruption passes beyond normal, yes, there are normal levels of corruption. Yeah, I know that in an ideal world, corruption doesn't supposed to exist. But we don't live in an ideal world. I'm a realist. The thing is, we need certain levels for corruption. Like, what kind of corruption can you have? So-called illegal corruption. You know, like Bernie Sanders having got somehow free houses for millions of dollars, not knowing from where the money came. Donors, yes, or people donated to him or whatever, or people, you know, gave him money for lectures and so on. It's not corruption. So what if that millionaire gives you some thousands or 10,000s of dollars for you to give a lecture? He's hiring you. He can hire you. It's not corruption, right? It doesn't give you money under the table. It maybe even writes you a check. Everything is legal, right? Right? It's still corruption, though. We all understand it's corruption. We're all big kids, we know it's corruption. There's no walking around it, that's corruption. Now, the first pillar of democracy, once you gain power, you do not put your enemies or opponents in jail. That's the first law of democracy. Second law of democracy is to know how much corruption can you accept. What is legal corruption? What are the legal boundaries? Because I think the legal boundaries should be, if you get a kickback or anything, again, from building, as long as you build normal, as long as most people don't get hurt, again, the majority, because this is democracy, remember, the majority doesn't get hurt and you don't hurt very significantly the minority by, again, protecting their rights, then corruption de facto is acceptable. Okay? There's no walking around it. This is human nature. I know that in an ideal world there shouldn't be corruption, but this is the fact. So, all the leaders in this ex-Soviet Union states are looking at, well, that president lost, he gave up power, and now he's going to freaking jail. Let's say I'm President Putin. Let's assume this. I'm freaking President Putin. I'm sitting in my chair. I'm the freaking Tsar of Russia, or President of Russia, because Putin doesn't like to be called Tsar. I'm freaking President of Russia. I'm all powerful. Now comes a nice, good-looking guy, Alexei Navalny, from the opposition. Now, I must say that Alexei Navalny from the opposition says it won't touch Putin. In his own words, he said that he wouldn't touch Putin and his family. Okay, that's nice, it doesn't touch Putin, right? So if I lose him, okay, I can give up power, I can go to get my pension, live in my villa, be, I don't know, be an ambassador of Russia all around the world, you know, do my stuff, do my politics, all around international politics or whatever, or just pension, hunting, I don't know, fishing, playing chess, whatever. Spending enormous amount of time playing World of Warcraft or CSGO as we do in Russia. Right? But also that same guy Navalny says, but I have a list, a small list of 600 bureaucrats who wronged me. And you know, if you be one of those 600 bureaucrats, again, it's the small list. It will possibly grow, you know, as you reach more power, you know, with the food comes the appetite. Well, you know, I can make that list bigger, even bigger. So let's say you're 600 bureaucrats. Now again, those are powerful people, people with money, people in positions of power. You're sitting up there, you say, well, let's say again that Putin is a total idealist. He gives up power, he loses, he fairly loses, gives up power. You're the 600 bureaucrats, you said, well, the president may be batshit crazy to give up power, but that guy wants to put us in jail. How about we make him lose the elections, poison his tea, his car brakes suddenly break down, his brakes in the he suddenly falls in the street and dies from a brick hitting his head, a meteorite strikes him, you know. Things can happen. You can fall into the sewer in the middle of the street when there's no sewer near you. It could happen. A brick can fall on your head on a field of crops. A meteorite can hit it off. And of course you can die of natural causes like 2 shots in the back of the head. But again, this is my hypothesis. So, let's see what happens with Epstein, so you would understand how corruption and power works. Okay? People in positions of power just don't say, like, okay, I'll give up my power, I'll give up my money, sure thing. Why? Because democracy. No, democracy doesn't work that way, okay? So, well, Atambayev is actually a very, very bad case of people not understanding. Again, this is short-term thinking, because yeah, I'll gain popularity by putting the ex-president. That's right, you put the ex-president, you'll gain popularity. But you know, once you do mistakes, as usually politicians, you know, the more you do, the more mistakes you do, even if you make great decisions, even if you make the best decisions. Let's say you're the freaking best you're fucking George Washington, right? Greatest politician ever, right, in American history. You're a damn freaking legend. How much time do you think you will go? Okay, let's say you make great decisions. Washington actually went away because of health issues. Let's say, okay, let's say you go away. A legend like Washington, you go away because of health issues. Comes your opponent, thinks, well, That Washington guy is very powerful. If I screw or fuck up, the people may bring him back. Maybe I should put him in jail. You know, for safety reasons. For safety reasons only. Or maybe I should, you know, his health is deteriorating. Maybe I should put him out of his misery. Can that happen? Of course that can happen, right? So the first law of democracy, you never prosecute the person before you. Or else people will hold on to power until they freaking die. Which is logical. Now, that was about all. This was for the serious video. I was Roman Harkin. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.